14-day winter session of Parliament begins today, and it's expected right off the bat to be a necessarily stormy one. There are so many issues simply waiting to explode right through the door. The centre is hopeful about pushing 25 pending bills and 14 new ones, including a bill providing Muslim women the right to seek maintenance in case of triple talaq. Other key bills include the surrogacy bill, prevention of corruption bill, the transgender persons bill, and a few others. But the Congress will be taking up the Election Commission notice to Rahul Gandhi among several other issues that it is waiting to use to attack the Modi Sarkar, including a delay in the winter session. The Congress is also planning to corner Prime Minister Modi on his comments against predecessor Manmohan Singh, the alleged windfall gains of a firm owned by Amit Shah's son Jay, and the now notorious Rafale jet deal, all on top of the agenda for the opposition.
ये पाकिस्तान हर विधानसभा के इलेक्शन में बीजेपी को क्यों याद आता? दोस्तियां तो ये करते हैं, शादियों में ये जाते हैं, ब्याह में ये जाते हैं, बर्थडे में ये जाते हैं, और आरोप कांग्रेस पर और दूसरे विपक्ष पर लगते हैं। तो हमने ये भी बताया है कि पार्लियामेंट में तो ये स्पष्ट करना चाहिए।
Winter session is on, and it is going to run for 14 days in a span of 22 days, and we expect that many of the issues will be raised there, and it is a forum to raise the issues, and government will definitely give its response.
Ex-Prime Minister, ex-Vice President of India, ex-Army Chief, ऐसे बड़े बड़े लोग मिलके एक घर में बैठ के कॉन्स्पिरेसी कर रहे थे गुजरात इलेक्शन में कैसा हराना, और दूसरे चीजें भी वो बात कर रहे हैं। ऐसी बात उन्होंने कही थी, तो हम ये चाहेंगे कि क्या बात किए वो प्रूव करना चाहिए।
Well, the big burning questions we're asking this morning: has the stage been set for what is almost definitely going to be a very stormy winter session? Is the BJP-Congress fight that's been so bitter through this political campaign in Gujarat going to continue in Parliament in an even more intense manner? Question 3. Fireworks over the Pakistan meet and the poll code violations. Can we expect those in Parliament? Is the Congress going to all-out corner the government on the delay in this winter session of Parliament, as also several other issues, including the Rafale deal? And the BJP's Congress counter, is that what they're going to raise? Rahul, tax and bad loans. Is this going to be a stormy session? I want to go straight across first. Before I bring in my political guests for today's burning question face-off, I want to first bring in India Today's National Affairs editor, Rahul Srivastav, who's going to be tracking Parliament for us. Already controversially delayed, Rahul, what are we expecting to see in this particular session? It's a curtailed session, only 14 days. What's the outlook?
Good morning, Shiv. I think the burning question which I would like to ask you is, given the kind of hostilities between the government and the opposition, will you be able to take Christmas and a New Year's off? Beyond that, I think this Parliament session can be divided into two phases. One is before the Gujarat results are out, and this other is after the Gujarat results out. The first few days before the Gujarat results are out are going to be hostile, though one of the houses is going to get adjourned because of the death of a member of parliament. But the fact is that the opposition has already decided that there are certain questions without, if they don't get answers from the government,
yes,
or the government is not agreeable to the fact that as and when the opposition wants a discussion on those issues or answers on the issues or the kind of answers that they really want, the House will not function. Now that perhaps gives a clarity that over the next couple of days the House cannot function. The opposition is extremely stinged at the fact that one Prime Minister during the campaign in Gujarat talked about a certain conspiracy between Congress leaders, including Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and Manisha and Pakistani ex-diplomats. The fact is that the opposition will want that what exactly was the source of information. Top sources in the opposition parties are saying that the Prime Minister will have, then the government will have to reveal details, if it has any, substantiate the charge, because Parliament is one place where it has to be done. The second is the kind of build-up in which the Rahul Gandhi's interview was banned and because of a complaint by the BJP, that fact is going to ring in. I think once the results are out, I think that the results will decide a lot of things. I think my assessment is that the opposition is going to get more hostile in case the BJP wins it, because if the BJP will like to go into the rest of the session with a certain degree of aggression, it has 1-2 more states, whereas the opposition's attempt would be to thwart any kind of attempt to push a legislative agenda, which will be like icing on the cake for the government after winning 2 states. So there are 14 new bills the government has demanded. Related activities, today the cabinet is likely to meet and clear the triple talaq bill, for which letters were sent to all the states, and Home Minister Rajnath Singh has virtually spoken to all the chief ministers, and the government is likely to be clearing it in the cabinet today. That's going to create more friction. But yes, what we can say is that this session could well go down as historic in terms of hostilities. Remember, Rahul Gandhi is going to be the president of the party soon. He will also have to leave a mark.
Historic in terms of hostilities. Rahul, thank you very much for joining us with that opening assessment. Joining me now on the burning question for a political discussion this morning, Mohammad Khan, spokesperson of the Congress party. We have Gopal Agarwal of the BJP and Suneet Chopra of the CPM. Good morning, gentlemen. Mohammad, quickly coming to you first. Under what conditions? I mean, there is business to be transacted in Parliament, certainly. But given the hostility, given the back-to-back issues that the Congress has, loaded in its gun to take up with this government, what are the conditions under which Parliament is going to be able to function peacefully? Or is it going to be able to function peacefully at all?
Well, I think, of course, the tone and tenor of how the House affairs are conducted are entirely up to the government. That is why they have a Parliamentary Affairs Minister. Shiv, one of the first things we must first proceed on, before we begin, I want to preface my comments with this. The Congress is the principal party in opposition, and that is a constitutional responsibility that we take very, very seriously. That is why when these people delayed the session of Parliament, and as you pointed out, since 1999, this is the lowest number of days that the Parliament has actually met in any given year. That is a shameful blot on their record. Now, when they do something like this, Shiv, we are compelled to ask, why did you do it? What was it that you were so afraid of being debated? 3 things that you can expect to see come up in this session, Shiv, are of course the Rafale deal. When you buy fewer jets for several times the price, the government of India must answer some hard questions. You may remember they tried addressing this with a few superficial press conferences, but no real answers have been put out.
You said 3 issues. So the Rafale deal?
Number 2, the fact that their president's son has run into such enormous good fortune, such enormous good financial fortune, is something that needs explanation. Of course, if nothing else, for the benefit of the other youth of this nation who are struggling. And thirdly, the fact that there are people like the NSA whose son is seen linked with a private organization. What is the role of that private organization in the affairs of the government? Now, these are important questions. And the fact that the government was shying away from a debate on these while the election was on, because they knew they had no answers to these, I think this is going to be an important session.
Gopal Agarwal, respond. Starting with all the issues that the Congress spokesperson has just listed, the very fact that this is a controversially delayed session of Parliament has basically doomed this session. You guys can forget about doing anything in this Parliament session. It's going to be total halla inside Parliament from the get-go, Gopal Agarwal.
No, the opposition has a responsibility also to so that the Parliament functions. It is not the sole responsibility of the government. We agree to whatever discussion the opposition want to take into the Parliament, but the legislation is an important function that has to be finished in the session. All the 4 questions raised by my friend Mohammad Khan have been amply answered in the public domain already.
Congress doesn't believe so.
These are not new issues. They have been answered by our party. No, but we can also answer that. The first question is that the session has been delayed. The reason has been very amply clarified, that it was because of the Gujarat and Himachal elections. So Gujarat elections is an important issue that has been answered, that has been accepted. What is there to discuss? Government has already said that this session was delayed because many people, many important persons from the government and the opposition have to be involved into the election process. It's a democratic process that has to be participated into. So then there is no question of debate on this. The issue is very clear. Second, on the Amit Shah, Jai Shah issue, it is the turnover that the Congress is equating with 50,000. First year it was a 50,000 loss, and then 80 crore. It's a turnover.
Okay.
And
no,
if
this particular discussion is not about explanations for the issues being raised.
Even
we're asking a question about whether Parliament is going to be able to function smoothly or not. Yes, I'm sure that the explanations have come, and also they'll be taken up in Parliament as well. Sunit Chopra, a particularly hostile political atmosphere at this time. I'm just coming back to you, Gopal. Sunit Chopra, a particularly hostile political atmosphere at this time. Public perception is that between the ruling party and the opposition, Parliament is always doomed. Nothing ever happens. Business never gets transacted. Under what conditions can it be navigated successfully in such a hostile atmosphere, in your opinion, Sunit?
The first thing that is to be done is that the government should explain properly why it delinked the election from Himachal and that from Gujarat. For over 40 days, the votes of Himachal have been lying there and no result. Secondly, why did you have to delay the parliament session because of floods in Gujarat? There were floods in Kashmir. You had elections. Third is the EC, which is headed by a former principal secretary of the Prime Minister, has been taking sides.
Okay.
They are attacking the opposition, but they will not listen to what Mr. Modi does, and he's been breaking rule after rule after rule.
So basically, Gopal Agarwal, it's very clear that the opposition is not satisfied with any of the answers or explanations that the BJP has been giving so far, and you can expect this to be a particularly, like our National Affairs editor said, historic in terms of hostilities, Gopal Agarwal. Historic in terms of hostilities, that's what's in store for the BJP and the Modi Sarkar in Parliament.
Definitely, we understand, but what our request to the opposition is,
the BJP
that
must learn
now
democracy.
with the
They can't push 25 laws, including the banking bill,
the government, BJP is going to form
in 10 days.
Yes, Gopal.
The BJP is going to form the government in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. We would request opposition that their frustration in their defeat should not harm the parliament session. The issue with whatever they want to discuss, we can allocate time, but the time is short. There are important legislative bills with regard to triple talaq, with regard to IBC, with regard to GST. The main function they have to decide, the main function of parliament is legislation, and discussion and debate is a part of that whole discussion.
Whatever Mohammad Khan wants to reply to you, Gopal. Yes, Mohammad.
But political issues which have a no stand thing cannot be discussed and debated again and again in the parliament. It is unending that some issues we will never agree.
Mohammad,
so you have to continue debating.
Gopal bhai, I just have two things to say to you. Gopal bhai, I just have two things to say to you. I miss the civility in political discourse. Now, whose fault is that? I would argue that, look, when we had 140 seats in UPA 1 and a much larger opposition, we still managed to make it function. We still managed to pass important bills. In UPA 2, again with the coalition government, we still managed to make it function. I think the onus lies on the government to build consensus, because you have to reach out. You are the party in power. It is your legislative agenda. Number 2, Gopal bhai, आपने कहा चुनाव हो रहे थे, इस वजह से हमें postpone करना पड़ा. Gopal bhai, that is very, very dangerous logic for two reasons. First, it shows that you prioritize politics over governance, and second, it shows that, boss, there are elections happening every 3 months in some state or the other. Will you keep postponing parliament? By that logic, parliament will never happen. That's my point to him. I don't think there are any valid answers to that.
I think, I want to just move on to another issue, but I think we can be very clear.
Shiv, one thing.
Okay, quick answer.
What thing is, in parliament, you cannot debate and continue, which cannot be decided into the parliament debates, which are some legal issues, which are other issues, which are outside the domain of parliament. If you continue debating them in the parliament, you will not get any answer, and it will waste the time of the parliament. Where there can be a decision making in the parliament, only those can be debated.
Okay, Mohammad, quick rebut, then I need to take a break.
Just one sentence. We elect our members of parliament. Everybody takes part in this universal adult franchise exercise to send our representatives to parliament so they can ask questions of national importance, not just legislative issues. That is why there is question hour in which I can raise any issue against you. So for you to come here and try and limit the scope of debate is very problematic. And if your government thinks like this, my God,
I think we can agree. In the first part of the discussion, I think we can agree this is going to be a historically hostile, parliament session. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Will it be substantive? We don't know. Who knows? Will it be a complete washout? Will there be dharnas and walkouts every single day? Or will substantive issues, no matter how hostile they are, actually be discussed? We're taking a very quick break. When we come back, remember, the hostile, aggressive campaign that is right behind us in Gujarat has thrown up and put the spotlight on both Prime Minister Modi and Rahul Gandhi, who've taken very aggressive attacks against each other. The spotlight's going to be on both these men in Parliament when it opens. What can we expect? We'll put that question on the burning question when you come back. On the burning question, where we're putting the spotlight on us standing on the threshold of what is expected to be a historically aggressive and hostile session of Parliament. The winter session opens today. How's it going to be? Well, I'll have Mohammad Khan of the Congress party with us, also Gopal Agarwal of the BJP and Sunit Chopra of the CPM. Mohammad, Rahul Gandhi has been one of the protagonists in this recently concluded campaign. No matter where you stand politically, his rise, his refashioning is something that nobody can deny or ignore.
Absolutely,
But he's been criticized in the past of not being a prominent actor in Parliament. Now, as the president-elect of the Congress party, the onus is going to be especially harsh on him in Parliament. Can we agree on that?
Well, I guess that's a fair thing to say. With regard to this election, Shiv, you're absolutely right. This election saw the emergence of Rahul Gandhi ji as a consensus builder, as someone who can take people of different factions along. He stitched together this alliance which had these people shivering, for want of a better word, in Parliament. Let me tell you something, Shiv. If there's someone who takes the legislative agenda of this government and the previous government seriously, it is Rahul ji. I can tell you from personal experience, he personally goes over every single bill of importance, particularly those that affect farmers.
But is he prepared for the harsh spotlight that's going to be on him?
Oh, he's absolutely
Because there will
ready.
be tough questions for him.
In fact, as someone asked him, see, this is a man who has faced the worst kind of things you can throw at him over the last 3 years, and he is unfazed. I think that is a testament to his abilities, the calm and composure that he has as a leader. Shiv, one more thing I want to add. About 4 weeks ago, and your channel covered this, one of the very few that did, 3 lakh farmers came down to Delhi. All they wanted was three very, very basic things, something that they had promised in their manifesto. They didn't get an audience with the Prime Minister or even any single representative of this government. That is something that's going to be a major point of discussion.
Gopal Agarwal, you've criticized Rahul Gandhi in the past as being a reluctant politician, a Lok Sabha MP who's never really performed his duties as a member of Parliament. Now he's going to be the president-elect of the Congress party in Parliament, already seen as a, leader of the Congress party, leader of the opposition, galvanizing the forces. How are you seeing this? How are you going to tackle it?
No, we welcome Rahul Gandhi's being elected as the president of Congress. There are issues with regard to his coronation which his party own people are raising. That's a different issue, but that has not to be discussed in Parliament. But when as an opposition leader and a president of the main opposition party, we welcome his participation in the Parliament. There are several important issues where we need a clarification from the Congress with regard to triple talaq. What is their stand? With regard to GST, these important issues, there are in the NPA issue is a complicated issue. NPA has been a very complicated issue created by the UPA government's false policies and their concise with consensus and connivance with the various political, with the bureaucratic and capitalist. That's very important issue. They have to answer them in the Parliament. We will definitely raise the conditions of the banking industry. We will raise triple talaq. We will even, there can be discussion on Ayodhya or their stand with regard to Ayodhya. they have not clarified their stand, and we would like Rahul Gandhi to clarify the parties and his personal stand on these important issues, which create a big difference in the whole future politics of the country. Instead of just talking about whether there is some issues which cannot be decided.
Sunit Chopra, okay, got it.
Which can be
debated, point noted. Sunit Chopra, I know this is about parliament, this is not about personalities. I know this is not about personalities, but how are you viewing? You know, you come from a party that was once allied with the Congress party. Rahul Gandhi is widely, being perceived to have a new, strong voice, galvanizing the opposition, etc. How do you see him as a force to reckon with in the parliament session coming up?
I think he will have more confidence, because we have seen in the last election in Gujarat that the BJP is suffering from an incumbency problem. Their vote is going to be less than it was in 2007. The Congress has increased its tally consistently, and this time also the Congress may get 10 seats more than it had before.
Can I reply?
So he will be more confident.
20 second answer from final comment from Mohammed.
Unemployment,
a more confident Rahul is what we're expecting to see in Parliament. Quick answer.
GDP, all is going to affect the BJP.
20 seconds till I wrap. Quick.
Yeah, that's more than enough. Gopal bhai, तीन चीजें आपने बोली, मैं जल्दी जवाब देता हूँ. On Ayodhya, position is very clear. Whatever decision the Supreme Court takes, we will of course respect and abide by it. You said triple talaq. Interestingly, religion seems to be the prison through which you see your legislative agenda also. We will support you. Bring a bill in consultation with everyone. We'll support you. Number 3, Gopal bhai, सरकार चलाना आपकी जिम्मेदारी है, इसलिए लोग आपको लाए हैं. Stop asking the opposition questions.
So the Ram Mandir issue, So the Ram Mandir issue is also going to be, add that to the list of all the things that are going to, sort of quake Parliament when it opens in just a few moments from now. We'll keep a track. Gentlemen, thank you very much for this morning burning question here on India Today. Coming up.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.